Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to our ever-growing realm in Manor Lords. After a short hiatus, we are now back with the continuation of this series with a more regular schedule. My plan is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we'll have a new episode of this series releasing, and that'll give people the days in between as well as the weekends to catch up and stay up to date. It should also be a bit more sustainable from my side of things as well, but y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. I do read through all of the comments, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, questions, thoughts, share them down below. They will get read and addressed in one way, shape, or form. But first, folks, I do want to quickly apologize for the delay in the arrival of this episode. On the lead up to launch, I really wanted to get some of those guide videos out, and let me tell you, a couple of back-to-back 18-hour days is definitely something that takes its toll. I am no longer in my 20s like I was when this channel first started, and that was a swift reminder for me of the aging process. So I apologize for the aftermath of those guide videos being released, but I think it was well worth it. I think those videos have been quite helpful for new players diving into Manor Lords, and I actually have some additional guide videos I'm working on as well, but those in a more sustainable fashion, so they'll be releasing alongside the continuation of this playthrough. Now, on the topic of the continuation of this playthrough, I think the next step here is really to get the smiths up and running. We've got the foundation set up over here. We've got our mining pit set up at the iron mine. So let's start collecting that ore. Let's figure out how we can go ahead and establish our bloomery, I believe it is, to convert the iron ore into iron slabs. And then we'll establish a smithy as well to produce tools. And even though the tools don't have an actual purpose right now, we can export them to make some wealth. We'll also very quickly establish, of course, the additional backyard extensions, the blacksmith's workshop and the armorer's workshop as well, perhaps arming some people locally for the local militia, but also perhaps exporting those resources, or rather bartering those resources with our original town to further equip the militia over there. So let's get the party started over there. Let's get Mr. and Mrs. Smith established, so to speak, hopefully this session, especially now that I've said that. That feels like a suitable title. It'd be a shame if we don't get the job done this session. Let's go ahead and see if we can't find our... Okay, you're working at the charcoal burner, and you are unassigned, so let's get you working at the mining pit. Trying to make this as efficient as possible, but also don't want to delay the work at the mining pit either. A couple of these people, I imagine, are unassigned. I wish I could. I like that I can't just kick them out and tell them where to live instead. But right now, given the circumstances, I wish I could. We'll wait. We have what? We have 15 living spaces and 13 families. I assume these are all lived in right now. Excellent. Which means the new arrivals will move into here. And once they do so, we'll go ahead and assign them at the mining pit as well. And then we'll start establishing, yeah, I'm thinking the bloomery goes somewhere over here. I might establish an additional storehouse somewhere over here, particularly for the iron ore, the iron slabs, all that good stuff. And then we'll establish some additional housing over here. Maybe the backyards don't have to be so big, but we'll establish them over here, and they'll be the blacksmiths and the armorers and stuff like that. So this will be, as I've jokingly referenced before, this will be like Smith's Road or whatever we'd call it, hypothetically speaking, as we have all the smiths and armorers over there. And this will continue to be things like tailors and all that good stuff. Now, in order to build some of those extensions, though, we'll need the blacksmith's workshop and... Well, rather, sorry. In order to build the blacksmith's workshop and the armorer's workshop, we will need planks. And I think we can export planks from here and import them over to here. Because rather than establishing a saw pit over here, let's just go ahead and take advantage of the plentiful industry over in Adelsball, right? So let's import... let's make sure we are actually importing from the right place. There we go. Perfect. So it was going to import from the greater world, and so the tariff was going to apply. But now that I've set the surplus over here to be below what it actually has, it's adjusted its approach, and now we're going to import from Adelswall instead, removing the tariff. Let's go ahead and say the target is 15 over here. And that should be sustainable, and that should save us a decent bit of regional wealth as well. Not that Eisendorf is poor anymore, by the way. Eisendorf has a decent bit of regional wealth, so that's not bad. So let's go ahead and do that, and then bring the planks in so that when the time comes, we're able to pull the trigger on that construction sooner rather than later. And I'm also tempted, actually, I think this was pointed out in the comments previously, I'm kind of tempted, yeah, to go ahead and mine out this clay. Realistically, we're not going to get to this outer ring for a while, so I do still have some time before I establish the clay pit over here. Like, we'll get some more housing over here, we'll get all this housing over here. Plenty of time before we need to expand into this ring. But maybe, yeah, rather than just building over top of it, we do clear it out and then remove the pit and build over top. That's a conversation for the future, though. I just wanted to address that I did see that suggestion. Meanwhile, over here, the forager hut. What's the deal here? Food. Yeah. The forager hut has folks. The berry deposit has berries. The vegetable garden over here is hopefully growing. We are lacking food over here. Well, that's because we barely have food supply. As long as we have food supply, the food will reach all the way out over to here. We've seen that before. Fuel reaches, clothing reaches, food will too. We have a couple of chicken coops, if I'm not mistaken. We established a few additional ones. We did not, did we? I could establish a few additional ones, and I probably should. Again, they can be destroyed afterwards if need be. I wanted these to be tailors and all that good stuff, you know, the fancy backyard extensions, as it were. But we might not have... We might not be able to do that. Might not be a choice for us right now. So maybe we'll go ahead and get the necessities right now, get the chicken coop established over here, and what we'll do is... warehouse worker. Can I get someone who's working... The granary worker makes sense, because I want to make sure they're establishing the right kind of market stall, you know? A granary worker over there? Sure, let's get you with a chicken coop. Yeah, we'll go ahead and maybe destroy the chicken coops later and replace these with some of those, like I said, fancier backyard extensions. And the next layer outwards will have some of the more rural elements. I mean, this is all pretty rural. It's a very small village, right? Soon to be a medium village, I suppose. But yeah, let's keep an eye on the turning of the month. Come July, we'll make sure that we take a look back over here to see if there's more people to assign to the mining pit. I really want this place to get populated. We'll need to get some more housing in the area as well, but we'll start with these, and then we'll get like the bloomery and stuff set up as well. Back at Edel's Ball, how are we looking? I mean, this place is looking fantastic. We have another upgrade available. It's been pointed out to me, actually, that the bakery is not the right call. And this was pointed out many episodes ago now, and I've been mulling over it since then. That's not a... You're not wrong. See, here's the thing about the bakery. With the communal oven, I'm able to assign and unassign families as needed, depending on if bread is available or not, depending on if flour is available or not, sorry. Whereas with bakeries, if I make these guys into bakeries, they are bakers. That's all they will do. They will make bread, and they will sell bread, and other food as well, sure, but that's all they'll do. I won't be able to assign them to anything else, and that means even if there's no flour, they'll still be just waiting, twiddling their thumbs. Now, a solution to that, of course, is to import the flour, so that when we're not actually, topped up, when we're not producing enough flour, we can import it and keep those guys busy. But yeah, that did get me thinking. Now, it's been something I've planned for a very long time to have those guys set up in that way, so I think I'll at least start to explore what it looks like, and if need be, we can start importing flour. I mean, realistically, clearly, we need to import flour. Right now, there isn't any wheat turning into grain, grain to flour, or flour to bread, so, yeah, realistically, we would have to import that. Or do I just change my mind? I'm not committed to the bakeries. I know I said I wanted these guys to be bakers, like these 1, 2, 3, 4 houses to all be bakers, but I'm not married to that. We could switch to something else, like trapping isn't a bad idea. Hunters will get a passive income of meat. That's a good source of food. Meat is already a staple over here thanks to the rich deposit of wild animals, so that's an option. Doubling the capacity of all berry deposits is an interesting option as well, because not only do we have berries here for food, we also have it for like the dyer's workshop and stuff, right? So that is an option to consider. And of course there's beekeeping, with which we can get apiaries and secure honey, which is another kind of food as well, so adding to the food variety. So there's a couple of options over here. Now, I'm not going to look at basic armor making, because my plan is that Eisendorf is where all the smithing is going to happen, so I don't want to do that at Adelsball. Barring any other options, I could lean that way, but I feel like we have so many other options that make sense too. I don't think we need rye cultivation. Wheat is doing well for us. Irrigation might not be a bad idea. We haven't had a drought yet, but if one comes, we'll be in a bit of trouble. And then, of course, sheep breeding is an option too, and then we can export sheep. We already have so many, we can start breeding them, and we can start exporting them. So there's a couple of interesting options. If I do go with trapping, which gives us extra meat, we can then take a look at pelt extraction, giving us hides from those traps too. And we can look at advanced skinning, doubling the amount of meat harvested by hunters. Oh man. And then with beekeeping, we can get advanced beekeeping, allowing us to collect wax beyond honey. So some of these options are starting to feel a bit more compelling since I've been thinking about bakeries since that comment. I mean, what was like 4 or 5 episodes ago now. Let me know what you guys think. You know what? Let me know what you guys think. We're not in a rush to spend this development point. If you have any opinions on this, drop them in the comments, and maybe we'll influence Adol's Balls next... Adol's Balls. Next steps, God, I'm 12. Next development stage together. Lots of interesting choices over here, though, but I'm not in a rush to pick one out, especially since currently we have no flowers, so it's not like I'm in a rush to get additional bakeries over here, right? Let's leave it be for the time being. How are we looking otherwise, though? We've got about 7 months of food, 4 months of fuel. The fuel situation should be looking better with the charcoal now coming through. Yeah, you can see the firewood is being replaced by charcoal, and we are, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, we're sending shoes and getting charcoal. I was wondering if we should send firewood to get charcoal, but it's good to have firewood as a backup, I suppose. We could, of course, send firewood instead to have it turned into charcoal, but of course we are collecting firewood locally as well. We have the Woodcutter's Lodge. So if I take a look at, just check something here real quick. Trading post. No, it was, yeah, okay, we are importing firewood. That's what I thought. I was like, we were definitely getting firewood, not just locally. And it was through the trading post. So we are exporting. Yeah, it's dirt cheap too. So that should give us a good kind of balance of charcoal and firewood. But there is still, of course, the food variety issue and the clothing issue. Everyone's got boots, no one's got leather. Let's go ahead and pause the cobbler's shops. Almost demolished that one with a misclick. Let's go ahead and pause you as well. That should hopefully allow for a surplus of leather, because we're falling behind there. I wonder if I should establish an additional tannery. We'll see what happens here, though. We'll see what happens here. Right now, we're looking at 3 leather. 3 hides, 3 leather. We have chicken coop, goat shed. We could get some more goat sheds over here, actually. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and get goat shed there. And a goat shed here. Get some more hides coming through. Turn those hides into leathers. Because I think that's the bottleneck, is the number of hides we have. And quite a few of those hides are coming from quite far away. There's a lot of goat sheds over here. But if we have a few coming from closer and a few coming from further, then that should be okay. Ultimately, they're going to get stored in this like storehouse over here. Or actually in this storehouse over here. I guess the throughput is just... like, we don't have a surplus of hides at any point in time because it immediately gets turned into leathers. So hopefully that does something for us. And this storehouse, is everyone... I don't want a firewood stall over here. You don't sell firewood. Sell clothes. Your clothing stall. Your firewood stall. Your clothing stall, okay. Might need to reassign families and figure out what's going on over there. Because if we just get a few additional clothing stalls, I think we'll be good. On the clothing front, at least. We're at 69% right now. We'll see how that changes. And it really is a matter of those lower tier goods not being plentiful enough. Leather and yarn. And yes, to those of you that are suggesting I just import those, I absolutely can. But that feels like the easy solution, I guess. And that's why I'm trying to avoid it. Yes, if I import it, then we're done. There's nothing to worry about there. We can import plentiful. We've got the money for it. What am I worried about? But that's the fun is trying to solve it ourselves, trying to be self-sustaining, right? So, hence my obstinance, hence me being so stubborn about trying to solve this internally. All right, speed time up a little bit. See how our adjustments impact us. Where's my shoe count? Commodities, 506 shoes. That number should slowly be going down because we are sending shoes over to Eisendorf, right? So that should be going down. And meanwhile, the leather count should be going up. The hide count should be going up as well. Well, I mean, that'll be harder to track because obviously the hides will get turned into leathers. So keep an eye on the leather count, though. And ultimately, the satisfaction or the reach of the marketplace going up from 69%. I'm tempted to allow this storehouse to store leathers. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. And to tell this one not to. Because what we want to happen is we want the leathers to be stored here so that the clothing shops or the clothing stalls go to this storehouse, and rather than picking up shoes, which there's still plenty to do, or cloaks, which there's still plenty to do, they'll pick up leathers. And maybe they'll pick up a mixed bag, right? But with no leather available over here, they'll go all the way to here, or rather they won't go all the way to here because they'll just come here, they'll be like, well, there's clothes to pick up. And we don't care that it's not leather. So I'm trying to make leather a bit more accessible, a bit closer to the marketplace. Originally, the plan of having leather stored here was because we wanted to convert it into shoes, and you know, the cobbler's shop was right there. But priorities have changed, and so you know, making that adjustment. Now, with that said, these guys have a clothing stall and a clothing stall, whereas these guys, what do you have? You got a clothing stall, you got a firewood stall, another firewood stall, and another firewood stall. Now, I wonder if we can't force one of these into being a clothing stall instead. That would make me very happy. There's just the one clothing stall among them. I don't know if that'll be enough. Right now, you're selling leather at least. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out for it. Move down here. Insist on setting up firewood stalls. Now, to be fair, they could be right, right? They could be right in that we need those firewood stalls to keep this at 100%. But I have my doubts. I have my doubts. These food varieties looking okay. That's good. These guys are getting their veggies and eggs and stuff. Bit of lacking variety over here, but maybe a couple more chicken coops in this area will do the trick. Oops. A couple chicken coops. Yeah, these are all chicken coops. This is all goat sheds, right? Yep. Again, I wanted these to be bakers, so I'm going to keep that option open, but these guys could be a couple of additional chicken coops. Unassigned. The gravedigger at the church, I assume. No, at the corpse pit, actually. Well, hopefully if you open up a food stall, not going to be a problem. Chicken coop. Chicken coop. Mainly I was checking where they work to make sure, A, they're nearby, and B, they don't have a conflicting workplace that might force them to open up a different kind of stall. So let's get some more eggs going over there, and that should hopefully help with the food variety. Clothing is looking better already. I don't know if that's because of increased leather or something else, but keep that for the time being. Lots of leather over here. The tannery is working away. This is good. 19 leather, 20 leather. Yeah, see, now we're talking. Now we're talking. This should solve the problem over here, I think. Now, I'm not sure about the call to put leather over here and not over here. We'll see how that plays out. Again, because they do have the clothing stalls. You know what? Damn. I'm torn, I'll be honest with you. Because there's a few different ways this could play out. Sure, let's keep leather over here. It might take longer to get to the stall. But we're more likely... We have a higher chance. See, because, like, what difference does proximity make if these are all firewood stalls? They're not going to stockpile leather at the firewood stall. So we may as well at least have some of these guys who are guaranteed to make clothing stalls, you know, walk all the way to here just to pick up some clothes. Alternatively, I can set up another storehouse over here that does leathers, and only leathers. And that would kind of solve that problem at the cost of some space and some construction resources. And, like, a family at work. That might not be a terrible idea. Let's see how this works for the time being. Let's see how this works, where this accepts leather and this also accepts leather. And if that doesn't work, if that doesn't improve the situation, then we'll go ahead and establish another storehouse over here that stockpiles leather while stopping this one stockpiling leather. We'll see what that does for us. But we got yarn here as well, you know? Yarn and leather are both lower level goods. Alright. Looks like it's July and people are moving in. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and assign you to the mining pit. What about over here? Yep, mining pit. Cool. So we have 3 families working the mining pit. Let's go ahead and build our bloomery. There's no reason not to. Small. Do I get a warehouse nearby as well? I'm gonna figure out the right layout here. We have the storehouse over here, which isn't that far away, but things could be a bit more efficient. Now the mining pit does stockpile iron ore itself, so if I just tell the storehouse not to stockpile iron ore, that alone should do the trick. Bloomery setup. Maybe over here, just to be a bit more interesting. And hang on a second, where can I put down a well? It's probably not a bad idea to have a well in this area. Not so much for drinking as it is for the inevitable fires that'll kick off. Copy down. Over here. Put the bloomery nearby, like so. Sure, I think that works. Have people working the mining pit. These guys are working the. Oh, these are all miners. This guy's a charcoal burner. Yeah, that's fair. Working at a decent enough rate. 8 months worth of fuel while exporting the charcoal. In fact, okay. We got the bloomery coming through. 3 unassigned families. Decent construction rate, I'm sure. Let's prioritize the bloomery. In terms of a road, just kind of like this kind of a thing. Make sure you're all connected. And then, yeah, we can get smiths and stuff happening over here. Where's my... this kind of a thing. So right next to the well as well, if anything goes sideways, you know, we get some smithies, some armorers, maybe a storehouse here to actually store, like, you know, this is like a weapons storehouse, you know, not like a classic storehouse that everybody has access to. That kind of makes sense to me. I think that's nice. I think that makes sense. And then we can have, if we need them, we can have even more established over here. We'll see what the throughput is like on these kinds of goods, right? Because I don't want to establish too many smiths, like what happened with the cobblers back at Adelsball, right? We had way too many cobblers. That was a mistake, and we only had the 2. We had this cobbler's shop, and then we established this one, and I was like, yeah, that'll be fine. And we got flooded with shoes, 500 plus. We're now at 430. That's nice. How many shoes over here, actually? 50. We got 59 shoes for a population of 45. Man, all right. You think those are pairs or singles? Either way, point being, I don't want to rush it. I don't want to put ourselves in an awkward kind of a spot as far as, like, oh, we have no iron ore or iron slabs, but all these smiths waiting for those goods to arrive, you know? That's the thing. I don't worry. I don't mind a surplus of weapons. I don't mind a surplus of armor because we can export that and make bank, right? But having too many smiths for the number of for the amount of ore coming through, that's a problem. And yes, again, we can always import iron ore and iron slabs and all that good stuff. But for starters, I want to be self-sustaining. That's part of the fun, in my opinion, part of the challenge. On the topic of part of the fun, haven't had any nice kind of cinematic shots in today's episode yet. I just love how quiet and quaint this neck of the woods is compared to this neck of the woods. You just like night and day, you know? Nice to see those chimneys at work as well. I didn't notice that before. Man. Our church area has gotten so much busier as well with these stalls in place. And of course the tavern. The ever undersupplied tavern. I should really look into that actually, you know what? I should look into the tavern situation, because we have a decent amount of ale, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we don't actually. Oh, hello, excuse me. Do we have enough, malt? Malt, where are you? No, we don't. Okay. So we must have had, like, not a bad harvest per se, but we just didn't focus enough on barley. This time around, if we take a look at what's coming, we don't have a prediction yet. 20, 26, 31. Okay. Might not actually be enough of either. Look at the trading post over here. Wonder if we start bringing in some malt again. Not that expensive or anything. Sure. During the off season, as it were, and let's try and fix this, because the tavern situation's been dire for a while. We have 3 families assigned, but not enough ale available in the town. We're not importing ale, are we? Or not? We haven't established a route. Oh man, the value of shoes has dropped tremendously. Extremely low prices, no foreign exports. That's fine. And again, this is a system that was introduced when the game actually launched. It prevents you from doubling down on a specific resource that can make you rich and just exporting it until you become filthy rich. And it's fine. I don't want foreign exports. I want these shoes to go over to Eisendorf. Now, I don't think we're importing them using a trading post, but we could if we wanted to. We're also exporting from here, actually. Right, because the plan was to ship them here and to export to generate wealth for Eisendorf. Well, let's go ahead and stop the export. Instead, just rely on the pack station, sending shoes over for charcoal, because we still need that trade to happen. And over here, eventually, hopefully, the blocked foreign trade will go away, and we'll start exporting shoes again. For now, though, let's go ahead and say no trade and let that recuperate. Let the world heal, as it were. Meanwhile, over here, how are we looking? Building away. Building away. Surely we have enough logs. Yeah, plenty of timber. No one working here, because we haven't needed it. We haven't expanded at that rate, so we haven't needed it. Same thing with the forester's hut, though really with how many unassigned families we have, I could get at least somebody working here. Let's go ahead and do this in a more meticulous way. Let's get you assigned at the forester's hut. Let's get you guys foresting over here, you know, as opposed to deforesting. It takes some time for those trees to grow and stuff as well, so let's get that stuff going. And over here, I want to actually clear out a shrubbery. Yeah. We have these fallen trees as well. I don't know why that happens, but let's assign this work area to clean that up, because it bothers me. And once that's cleaned up, we can unassign people at the logging camp again. Cool, yeah. Bloomery set up. And then we can get the smithy set up as well. Smithy set up over here. And then I gotta get a couple of... Well, like, where do I want the houses to be? Get a smithy over here. Is that enough room? Might not be. It'll be interesting if we get the smithies over here as well. Sorry, if we get the blacksmith and the armor smiths and stuff over here as well. And then the storehouse over here, perhaps. More housing over here for the charcoal kiln and the mining pit, maybe. As opposed to the smiths and stuff. Or maybe, you know, on either side we can have smiths. But I think having the smithy over here right next to the bloomery makes sense. The mining pit is stockpiling iron. It's almost topped up. Really hoping the bloomery would be done a bit sooner. Let's unassign some families. Try and get this construction done a bit more quickly. Transporting berries. I see. Is that the faster path then? I mean, yeah, it's a straighter line, I suppose. That's so slow. Once these houses are in, we'll see what happens. But the forager hut is... That's trouble, isn't it? And that's why food is such a problem. I mean, that's why we're adding chicken coops and stuff. I think we need another one. Want to make sure that people are fed. And, of course, clothed as well. What's the deal up over here? Come on. 70%. Okay, okay. These guys... Was that person running because it's raining so hard? That's a nice touch. Oh no, there was a fire. Where was there a fire? Was it a market stall fire? I didn't see a massive fire anywhere, nor do I see a massive... Oh no, here. Oh no. That's twice now this area has had a fire. There's like an arsonist afoot or something, you know? Or arson afoot. Arsonist on the loose. Wasn't it just a goat shed down here? Arsonist goats. Oh man, completely missed that fire breaking out. So honed in on the Eisendorf upgrades. Building hit by lightning strike, that's what it was. God is the arson. Come on, we built you a nice church and everything. Why would you do this to me? It's okay. Construction underway. We'll be okay over there. But yeah, what was I looking at? I was looking at these clothing stalls. I mean, hey, actually, that clothing stall, it's got a decent amount of leather now compared to what we were seeing before. It just got to cycle through some of these cloaks and shoes, I think. I think we're on the right path here. I think we're on the right path here. Have faith, have faith. Well, Eisendorf. Okay, looks like the logging camp has done its bit. The Woodcutter's Lodge needs to clear out what's left over here. There's the well done at Eisendorf, excellent. And Edelsball's burgage plot over here is done. Ah, it was a chicken coop. Sorry, sorry. I blamed the goats when I should have blamed the chickens for the arson. That should be alright. Food variety, 84%. Food is looking better and better. Again, we got some chicken coops out over there, so that's going to help. Do we have a new food stall over here? Yes, we do. So that should be helping. And I could get a granary set up over here to, you know, grab stuff from these areas potentially. But we'll see how this does for the time being. I can't remember where we were at with food variety at the beginning of this session, because I had my eyes on clothing, which has returned to where we were, unfortunately. But food variety, I think it's gotten better. We'll have to check after on playback. Either way, how are we looking over here? 40 days, so about a month and a bit before harvest season kicks in. Got 4 unassigned families to add to the farmhouse at the time. That should be good. Now, how are we looking as far as the tannery is concerned? Decent bit of leather. Overall, we have 47 leather. I mean, okay, so the numbers aren't going to be the problem now. It's more going to be an issue of getting rid of all the cloaks and shoes and all that jazz, really. Okay. And again, we could set up an export. I'd have to buy the roots. We got money for it. I'd have to set up an export to get rid of some of our cloaks, potentially. Oh my god, we have 148. What are you... Ridiculous. The other option is to send them over... You know what? Yeah, actually, here. Let's send cloaks over, and then Eisendorf can export the cloaks. It can afford a trade route, and then it can export the cloaks to provide some regional wealth. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by the fact that we lack food over here. Again, just hoping the vegetable garden starts to provide results, and I could get some more foragers going as well. We have... The bloomery's been completed. Alright, let's take a look here. Take a look here. Assign you to the bloomery. Okay, so we've got you working. Requires Refueling, that's fine. We got plenty of fuel available. Let's go ahead and establish our smithy. I think here makes the most sense. Let's do that. And before they actually commit to that, I want to see if we can't. Yes, excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be able to fit a blacksmith in the plot right next to the smithy. And it looks like we can. I don't mind this distribution. We got 4, so that's 2 and 2, let's say, smiths and armorers. I think that's quite nice, and we have an interesting shape as well. Did I want to get a bit more adventurous is the question. Did I want to get, like... Nah, that looks wonky. Knowing my luck, I've now lost the perfect positioning that I wanted. Oh, something like this. Ooh. Yeah, that feels nice. What about... Just trying to find the sweet spot. Not enough goods. Need a bit more timber. Alright, you know what? We do have a sweet spot over there. Okay, let's get some more timber going. Turns out we need it. Who'da thunk? Don't need to limit the work area or anything. Just get 1 family on it. We just need 10 timber to get all those built, and I'd like to put them down at the same time, I think. We're working on the smithy right now anyway, so let's get that done, and then we'll establish those houses. Yeah, excellent. Beautiful. Beautiful. I might need to just import food over here. I'm not too worried about variety as much as I'm worried about getting food out over here right now. That won't happen until, like, some of these other more local needs are met, I guess. Very few surplus eggs. Not even getting these guys, alright. Where do you guys work? Firewood cutter. Hit you with a chicken coop. Let's see what that does for us. Speed time up a little bit. And I will eventually, yes, establish another house or 2 over here to get more people working at the forager hut, and we will establish a hunting camp as well to get people working the wild animals. Don't worry, those are definitely part of the plan, but I wanted to prioritize these constructions over here, of course. Because I wanted to get the, I wanted to get our namesake up and running. We're about the iron, so I wanted to get that going. And it looks like we are chipping away. Now, hang on a second. The storehouse is currently, I imagine, stockpiling iron slabs, which I don't want you to be doing. I want those iron slabs to stay here, so that when the smithy needs those iron slabs, they can just pick them up and drag them over right from across the street. That was the plan, that was the hope, so I want to give that up. Speed time up over here. Yeah, food variety is looking better. I thought it was at 82% just a few minutes ago. Now, that's not significant enough to be like, oh yeah, it's solved. But it's in the right direction. There's August, so we're going to have more families moving in if we have room for them, which we don't actually. So Adelsball is topped up. I suppose I could build some more residences out over here. Get some more chicken coops going. Just the 2, I think. Doesn't seem to end up. Oh, that looks nice. Fun shape. We get the expansion for later as well. Sure, let's do that. And then separately over here at Eisendorf, we are also topped up. Let's go ahead and build those residences. We have enough timber, I think, now. I was waiting for, really. Yeah, like that. So we get the expansion slot. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smiths and armorers, which is fine as well, obviously. Not going to complain about a quote-unquote extra. I mean, of course, I can do this instead. I kind of like that more. This seems a little crammed. This seems a little better. Massive fire hazard. Massive fire hazard. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Cool. Let's go ahead and prioritize this one. Very high. This one's a high. Do them in the right order. The expansion slot can still wait, of course, because that'll take extra time. Food is looking good now. We have 3 months worth. That's good. It's just these poor people transporting berries from so far away by hand to get a cart. A cart. Granary. You get another family in here soon. Looks like the Smithy is almost done. Exciting to get some of these, like, advanced-ish structures in place. Like, iron, we're entering the Iron Age, as it were. Advanced might, I don't know if advanced is the right word, but feels advanced, you know. Getting weapons that aren't just the bows just feels a bit more far along. So I'm excited for this. I think it's mainly because this was a long-term plan, and here we are now finally executing on it. This will be nice when it's finally done, very close to it. We have 2 unassigned families, and once these houses are built up, we'll have hopefully 2 more arriving for August. Approval rates looking okay. That'll be good. And it's nice as well to just see like how this space is developed. I still can't get over the fact that you can see Adol's Ball from this far away. Like, it's just so, the sense of scale is ridiculous to me. I think it's so cool. Absolutely mind-blowing. But it's also neat to see how this town has kind of evolved over time. It was brought up in a recent comment on an older episode that, like, how this town evolved was a bit unrealistic, where, you know, we established this area for the purpose of the iron, but the initial housing was established so far away. Holy crap, 200 silver. Did we just sell a bunch of oaks, I guess? I'll take a look at that. And yeah, you know what, that comment is not wrong. Realistically, we would have established the housing around the iron mine first, and then establish the bigger central, like, town area. It is what it is. That's all I can really say right now. It's like, yeah, in hindsight 2020 and all that, future regional expansions will definitely try and make them a bit more realistic like that, where it's like, yeah, we expanded into this region for this purpose, and so of course the first houses will be established around that purpose. So yeah, just wanted to note that I did see that comment, and I am taking into consideration. Again, folks, I do read all of the comments. I don't just say that. Apart from that as well, folks, if you are enjoying this series, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know by hitting the like button as well. It does make a big difference in just letting me know what people are enjoying on the channel. It gives me a good quick read just based on numbers. What I should keep doing, what I should do more of, less of, etc., etc. I mean, the Manor Lords series, plural, are here to stay. I'm enjoying this game so very much. There's going to be plenty of it, but it does still give me a good indicator of what people are enjoying, and if I should adjust my course in any particular way. You know, like if a series has gone on for too long and I should start a new one, for example, or what have you. So yeah, if you're having a good time, hit that like button. If you are not yet subscribed, you might want to consider subscribing, because yes, Manor Lords is here to stay on this channel. Having way too much fun. Looks like the world is in fact healing in terms of the global market supply of shoes, so we can look at exporting those again soon, not in a rush. That 200, where did it come from though? Was it really from the export of charcoal? Couldn't have been. Maybe, I guess. Dang. Alright. We still have 6 months worth of fuel. Alright. Progress is being made. Good stuff. And up over here. August. A bit longer left until we start to harvest. Yeah, I wonder how much I should leave fallow, to be honest. And what's the deal with malt? Has a shipment not arrived yet? Because I'm not seeing any ale. We are certainly importing it. Yeah. I guess a shipment perhaps hasn't arrived yet. We don't have a dedicated trade route, and it might be worth investing in one. Lack of entertainment is hurting our approval rating. Not badly enough such that we're not able to grow our population at the highest rate, but something to consider nonetheless. Something to consider nonetheless. Love to see leather reach some of these people out there. I think there's just still too much cloaks and stuff. We'll sort that out, though. We're making progress. Let's speed time up a little bit. I think that's the thing. I'm just checking too frequently. Manor Lords has always been the kind of game where things take time. And this is one of those things that's taking time because we have so much surplus to work through. And once we work through it, we'll be in a good spot. I just gotta speed time up, know that, like, trust in the process, basically. Trust in the process. Same thing as up over here. You know, once we have the vegetable garden up and running fully, once that's harvesting properly, you know, once we have some more people working at the granary, everything we've established will be working much better. Or so I tell myself. We'll see as I watch food variety here drop. Clothing coverage has dropped a bit as well. Plenty of shoes. Got some cloaks coming. Bit of yarn. Yeah, I guess I could import some yarn. Could export it from up over here though. Gotta be careful about the regional wealth dropping too much. People joining in, good stuff. So let's go ahead and export yarn. Try and get us to 125, sure. Import yarn. Try and get us to 15 for the time being. Maybe that'll be enough. And just make sure we're meeting those clothing needs. Oh, right. And up over here, you guys have moved in. Immediate. Chicken coops. Need that food. I think leather is looking okay at this point in time. It's just a matter of distribution. And once... Oh, not just distribution, but the other goods taking precedence, perhaps. And I think that'll solve itself over time. I just gotta, like I said, give it time. Up over here. Alright, the smithy is done. The bloomery is done as well. We got somebody chipping away. Oh, just missed him. Okay, you guys are getting some work done. The smithy needs somebody working here as well. People have moved in here. Let's get you to the smithy. And have people moved in here? They have not. But I gotta level you up before I can do anything. Food stall supply. I need a second type of food before I can get these guys upgrading. Food variety is gonna be the bane of my existence, isn't it? Vegetables, eggs, berries. So if we can get some eggs out there, we'll be good. That shouldn't be too difficult. That shouldn't be too difficult. Time for more chicken coops. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? The inner ring evolving over time as needs evolve over time. Here. Get that going. We'll have time for additional people to move in, or rather we'll have space for people to move in over time. We've built more housing than we need immediately, so I won't have to worry about that for the next little bit. But this will be nice. Well, a couple of smiths over here. And again, I can eventually establish an additional, oops, like smith over here or something to really block this off nicely. That'll be nice. Here, your work area. What do you mean work area is empty? There we go. But give it a little shock to the system there. We're doing okay with this berry deposit. I wouldn't mind assigning more families to it before this winter comes. Okay, hang on a second. So now the tools are being taken to the storehouse. I want them going to the storehouse, though. Or do I want them going to the trade post, only to be exported? I have to establish a trade route. 108. Oh, man. I mean, we can afford it. We certainly should establish a trade route. Done. Make Mr. and Mrs. Smith wealthy. Export. Keep our surplus to 0, because we don't really need tools. It'll be... My assumption is that it'll be implemented later on for a variety of reasons, but right now it just exists as a commodity. So we'll export that, make that money, keep an eye on the global market supply and the cost, like the pricing adjustments. Do I want people to go, like, the trading post? You're better off going this way, right? And picking it up from over here. So the storehouse... Let's go ahead and say that you do not store tools either. And what I could do is I could get a road established like this. Yeah, this probably works. Trading post, go there, come up. We'll see how they move right now first. Let's see how this family goes around to pick up the finished tools. And let's make sure they're doing it efficiently as well. Because if they just focus on going to the storehouse and they never go to the smithy, then yes, I'll absolutely want the storehouse stockpiling these goods as well. But it might be better here just allowing this to be a kind of self-contained ecosystem, as it were. That's right. This is really exciting to me. I feel like we've created a nice, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, subset of industry that, like, just operates within itself. It doesn't need to tap into the storehouse. It doesn't need to tap into other areas of the town. Heck, it even has a well of its own in case a fire kicks off over here. But, like, yeah, we have, you know, the mining happening over here, right? With the people that work the mine living nearby. We've got the charcoal kiln, because don't forget, the smithy and stuff need fuel, as does the rest of the town, obviously, but we've got all that happening over here. And then the iron ore gets shipped over from the mine to the bloomery. Here it gets processed into slabs. Those slabs get taken over to the smith, and the smith turns them into tools. Or the slabs get taken over to these various other smiths that'll be cropping up, the blacksmiths, the armorers, etc., etc. And those will be turned into weapons and armor instead. Like, it's this, like, self-contained part of Eisendorf. And I think that's super cool. I just think it's neat. Marge Simpson meme. Oh man, this makes me so happy. I'm glad we got this up and running though. We got the tools coming in, and we'll see what the family at the trading post does here. Oh yeah, I guess you're picking stuff up from all the way across as well. You know what that trading post needs? That trading post needs horses. I thought we'd already bought them some. We bought them one. I want to get like a stable or something established for them. Now let's get a hitching post up in here. We want to get a tavern in here as well, right? Hang on a second. And we don't need a tavern to get to level 2, which is what we need for the blacksmiths and armorers. So close. Everyone's got berries. Which is a surprise, actually. Berries was the hard thing to get to people. But now it seems like everyone's got berries. Not enough people have vegetables or eggs, because the harvest hasn't happened. I mean, these guys have been planting and stuff. But the harvest hasn't happened. If we can ever get this burgage plot up to level 3, my goodness. That would be amazing. There'd be so many families living here. Handling just a handful of things. I wonder. Okay, let's keep an eye on it. September has come. Time to get a couple of families up in this farmhouse. Get a few more. And yeah, they'll come from all over, and that's fine. But what's great is that I haven't had to unassign anybody. I haven't had to unassign anybody, so I don't have to go back and reassign. These families will all come through. Most of them living quite far away, I'm not surprised. Come through, we'll go ahead and get a nice harvest. And then as we... Yeah, I don't think we can afford 2 back-to-back fallow years, to be honest. We'll go to barley afterwards. You're going to go to wheat afterwards. You are going fallow and then barley. You're going fallow and then wheat. You're going fallow and then wheat. You're going wheat again. Let's go barley and then fallow. Sure. Hopefully that's going to work nicely for us. We'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out, but yeah. The visual glitch from pre-release about the wheat and well, crops not showing up has been taken care of, obviously, so we get these beautiful shots now. That lone person walking down between the fields. Mill off in the distance, and look at the... So gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Alright. How are we looking over here? Scraping by. 3 months of food, 5 months of fuel. Up over here. Fuel is still rough, eh? What's the charcoal situation? 1 charcoal. Why has the flow of charcoal stopped? Is it because charcoal is being overused over here, or is it because we're not sending it over anymore? Hang on. Shoes. Not exporting yet. Charcoal we are exporting. There's no surplus. There's no real surplus. We need more people working at the charcoal kiln. Did you work in the kiln? That should do the trick for now. We'll see how that rolls. A lot of tools. Alright. How this plays out. You can see the eggs are reaching these guys first, as expected, right? Because it goes out radially from the center. Only a matter of time before the eggs reach out over here. Only a matter of time. It's unfortunate because nobody actually lives here, so I wish it would take that into consideration. How are we looking over here? Still no food down here. Quite a ways to go before these guys start to get affected. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And up over here. Alright, okay. Managing to sustainably stay close to 85%, 84% up there. Clothing. Still, I think the issue with clothing is that we have so much other stuff. A lie, I tell myself, perhaps, but leather is getting quite numerous, as is yarn, cloaks, and shoes. Where's the tailor? Maybe let's stop. Keep an eye out for that. It's out here now. Stuff, we can get the bread and stuff going again. That'll be good, just in general. I mean, not that we have a dearth of food over here. We are lacking bread, so the variety situation is hopefully going to get solved. Everyone's got bread, kind of. These guys are lacking some food. Where's the food stall over here? Got some stuff. You got a lot of stuff. Okay. Again, time. Like, we're seeing the expansion of the reach of food variety here, for example. It's a matter of time. Soon that'll be solved. 19. Gotta keep an eye on this family as well. This guy's got a long march. So we're waiting. Surprised I didn't use the horse there. Everyone's permanently assigned here. Got this hitching post out here. I mean, I guess I could get more hitching posts out here. That was the plan originally. Multiple hitching posts out here, make them stables and stuff so people can drop off and pick up their horses and stuff as needed. Because over here I would like to get the tavern. We have just enough room for the tavern to fit in this central area. Unless I've made a mistake and I can't do it anymore. I could have sworn I had enough room here for the tavern. There we go, yeah. Which means we don't have enough room for the hitching post. We could potentially put it up over here, which is an option, sure. We could put it up over here and stuff as well. But at that point, it's like, well, why not up over here? I don't know. Think about it. What are you here to pick up and or drop off? Because that is a trader. What's he gonna do? Nothing. I guess he came to pick something up that we just didn't have. I need more families working the trading post. We don't have enough families working the trading post. A forester, woodcutter, unassigned. Did you work in the trading post? People moving in at Edelsball. You know what I should do at Edelsball though? Is get this expansion going. And Eisendorf. We have room for one more. There is an expansion we want over here as well. That going. Got a chicken coop right next to the Smiths. This is feeling good, though. Glad we got all this set up. Oh, looks like the, That's the man from the trading post, isn't it? Is he coming to pick up tools, or where are you going, buddy? I think he might be. I think that might just be... We've got the full circuit there with the tools being picked up for trade as well. There he goes. Transporting tools. Jacob. He's a trader. Yeah, okay, excellent. Yep, that's our man. All right, good stuff. Where are you going? You going straight out to the greater world? All right, fair enough, sure. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's good for me. That's good for Eisendorf. Living up to its namesake. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session, because I most certainly did. It's been great to get all this up and running. It took a bit of time. Took this entire episode pretty much, plus a bit more prior, right? Because we can't exclude the setup of the mining pit and the housing around it. But well worth it, I think. We've got this export started. Hopefully, at the beginning of next episode, we'll see some food variety reach these two buildings, and we can upgrade them and get some armorers and blacksmiths going, because I would like to start arming up the militia here, and I would like to start improving the militia over at Adelsball as well to get them some more melee units too. It's been way too many archers for way too long. But this is very exciting. I'm very pleased with how this episode went. I hope you are as well. Again, folks, if you had a good time, don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, makes a very big difference in just letting me know what people are enjoying, letting me know what I should do more or less of, and letting me know how I should go about doing it. I do read all the comments, so it's a good way to get me some feedback and thoughts. With that said, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. They'll keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.